So with our After Effects open, we create a new composition. Okay, HD size. Okay, so we have our stage here. So now let's insert a new layer. You come to the file menu, then click on layer, new, then select the solid. Okay, so now we have our solid layer here. Okay, now there are several ways to use the solid layer. All right, you can apply effects on the solid layer. Okay, let me show you something. You can come to effects on the menu bar, then select come to generate or so, then select fill. You see that a color is applied to it. You can change the color to whatever color you want. See, something like this. Okay, all right. So that's one way of using the solid layer. Now let's see something here. The solid layer can also be used to do color corrections. Okay, let's import a video footage into our project here. Let me see. Okay, let's see, we have this clip. Import this into it. Okay. Okay, so we have this video footage. Okay, let me delete this out. So let's create a new solid layer. So we come to the file menu, new, then select solid. We click OK. Now we come to effects, then type gradient or ramp, gradient ramp. Okay, then we double click on it, then the effect will be applied onto the solid layer. Okay, so now we have a gradient here on our solid layer. All right, so the next thing to do is maybe let me off the eye here and let's see the image first. What kind of color should we apply to the image? Okay, let's say maybe we want the bottom here to have some orange kind of feel, then the head will be something like bluish kind of feel. Okay, so let's try something like that. So we on the eye on the solid layer, then come to the gradient ramp on the effect attributes here or effect control here, then change the white to something like orange. Okay, then the black to something like blue. Okay, so you have these two color gradients here, blue and orange. Okay, so the next thing to do is to come to the mode. Okay, the mode here, you see that in the mode here you have normal here, so you click on the cascading arrow underneath it and select something like overlay. So you see that we have this, we have the orange affecting the bottom whilst the blue affecting the upper part. Okay, if the color is too close in the image, you can just use the start ramp and the end ramp to widen the space within it, so that there will be a bit of smoothness within the image. You see that? Or if you don't like the color applied here, you can still come and change the colors here. You see that? You can still come and change the colors here. It's acting as if maybe some light is applied there. Okay, let's leave it like this. So you have this. And if the color is too strong for you, you can just click on the solid layer, then hit T on the keyboard to bring out the opacity. Then you reduce the percentage. Okay, you see that? Let's go something like 50%. Reduce the percentage. All right. Okay. And if you want to brighten the image or reduce it, you can still come and maybe type curves. Curves is used a lot in Photoshop. And here too, the same principle will be applied here too. So curves. When doing color correction, curves, Premiere Pro, After Effects, Photoshop, all those things, curves is used a lot. So you apply it onto the solid layer. So with our curves applied, Look at this. Whenever I move the line, you see that it brightens the image. Okay. Let me go back to the gradient ramp, then pull the orange part closer. So you see we have something like this. Let me pull the blue part to this side a little. Let's see. So we have something like this. Okay. Just play around with the colors and see what best gradient option you will come out with. Okay, so let me leave it like this. So we have this. Okay. So this is another way to use the solid layer. Now let's do another one too. Let me create a new composition. Go to the file menu, select new composition. Okay, we click OK. So another way of using the solid layer is what? Using it as a card, whereby you use the pen tool to draw on it or carve things out of it. Okay, let's say you want to draw something like a leaf. Okay, let me create a new layer. Let me go to the layer, new, solid. Okay, so you have this. Okay, now let me go and select the pen tool. So this is our pen tool. So now let's draw something like a leaf on it. So first, this will be our stem. Then the bulky parts, let's curve it a little. You click and curve, just like that. You click here, curve it a little. Okay, so you have this. Now let's end it with a bit of the stem. You see? So if you feel like the design is not that beautiful to you, you can just rearrange it well. So we have our leaf here, and this will be the stem. Okay. So from here, the next thing to do is to what? Color it. So let's bring the fill, type fill from the effects attribute here. Then double click for the color to apply. So now you have what here? Red here. Let's change it to green. Let's make it a bit darker. Okay. Make it a bit darker. Okay. So you have our leaf here. To draw the veins of the leaf, you can create a new solid layer. Okay, or you can just click on this one, then duplicate it. Then hit M. M is for mask. M, then the mask one will come. Then you delete this one. Then you have a fresh solid layer. Okay. Then maybe you type T to bring out the opacity. Then you reduce its percentage. Okay. Then you change the leaf color to a brighter color here. Okay. So now let's draw the veins. We are going to be fast with it. So let me select the pen tool again. Then click here. Click here, click here. We are just drawing the veins, no? So I won't pay that much attention to detail. Okay. So here. Okay. At this point, we are just doing something to represent something. So don't worry about it being that bad. Okay. So like this, you can readjust it. You see that it's just dots, straight lines that I set here. You can go and go to the pen tool and click on the cascading arrow, then select convert vertex to. Okay. From there, you can just click on where you want there to be curved. Click on that particular point. You see that? Then it will start curving. If you want to delete a point, just select the point, then click on the delete key on the keyboard, then it's gone. So you have this. So this is another way of using the solid layer to draw things. Okay, you can draw a very good cartoon here. You just have to arrange the layers right, the solid layers right. Okay. So now let's do another style. Another way of using the solid layer. Let's create a new composition. Okay. Creating backgrounds. Now the simplest form of backgrounds you can create here is what? Inserting the solid layer. Inserting the solid layer. Okay. Then applying the gradient ramp on it. Okay. The gradient ramp on it. Okay. This is the simplest form of this background that you can create here. But the background we are going to do a background that has a depth in it. Okay. So let's see. So we have this here. Okay. Let's come to the gradient ramp and swap colors. Then change the linear ramp to radial ramp. So you have this. Let's move this one in a bit. Then drag the dark one out a bit. So you have something like this. Okay, let's change the dark parts to something like red. Something like red. Then the whiter part to something like, let me check yellow and see. Yeah, it's beautiful. Okay, we have something like this. Okay, let's bring in a new solid layer. All right. So to bring in a new layer, we don't want to waste our time. So let's just duplicate what we have here. Let's duplicate it by hitting on the Ctrl D to duplicate it. All right. Then come down here where it says toggle and switches / modes. Then click on it. Then make the top solid layer 3D. All right. Then you hit R for rotation. Then rotate on X. You see that? Okay, first before we rotate, let's use the masking tool on it first. Okay, so let's go back and make it 0. Then select this one. Then come to the masking tool. Then select ellipse tool. Double click on the ellipse tool to shape out the solid layer. Okay, after this you can rotate it on the X now. So let's go something like 90 degrees. 90. Then you bring it down. Okay, look at this. So now we have our floor. Let's scale it a bit by hitting S to bring the scale. And let's enlarge it. So now we have our background. Okay, so this is another way of using the solid layer. Let's end it here. Maybe on our next tutorial we go in depth on how to use the solid layer more to design maybe an intro. All right, so see you next time.